What's going on, everyone? It's RGB here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install the latest LineageOS 23 ROM in 2026, based on Android 16 version. As you already know, LineageOS is known for its smooth performance and solid optimization. Even on older devices, it runs really well thanks to its lightweight system and minimal background processes. You'll also notice better battery life, and the overall experience is clean, simple, and completely free from bloat. And in this update, this build comes with the latest security patch. They have also added the EROF's vanilla build, which helps improve overall performance and read speeds compared to previous builds. This ROM is based on Android 16 and is mainly focused on stability and better optimization, rather than major visual changes. You still get useful features like face unlock along with a few extra tweaks over standard AOSP, and since this is a GSI build, the overall performance can vary depending on your device. All the EXT4 builds are fully read-write, but the EROF's builds require kernel 5.4 or above. Unfortunately, this phone is running on an older custom kernel version 4.4, and currently it's on an Android 15-based OUI7 custom ROM. So, for older devices like this, you can use the EXT4 GSI build, since it works on kernel 4.1 and above. But again, for a device like this, we can't expect much, since it's already quite old in terms of hardware. If you're using phones like Xiaomi, Poco, or other devices with Snapdragon chipsets, you'll get much better performance and stability. Also, make sure your bootloader is already unlocked and that you have TWRP recovery installed. And keep in mind, GSI ROMs can have bugs and may be unstable on some devices, so this is more of an experimental setup. If you're already happy with your current ROM, like the OUI7 build I installed, which actually works really well, then it's not really necessary to switch, especially on older devices. Now let's wipe the device. If you're installing this over an existing ROM, you can try wiping Dalvik cache and system partitions, but this can still lead to boot loop issues. So to avoid that, it's recommended to also wipe data, product, and vendor partitions except internal storage. And if you have any important data, make sure to back it up to an SD card or external storage. Now here's the thing. Flashing a GSI on Samsung devices can be a bit tricky. In my case, the existing OUI7 ROM caused conflicts, likely due to mismatched vendor or data partitions, which resulted in boot loops. On most other devices, it usually boots fine like a normal system update. So to fix this, I reinstalled the OUI7 custom ROM with an updated kernel, which includes proper product, vendor, and system partitions. This gives us a clean and stable base. Now, on top of that, we can flash the GSI ROM. Go to the location where you copied the file. Make sure the file is extracted as an image, then select it and flash it as a system image. Flashing the GSI over a clean base usually resolves boot loop issues, especially on devices like this. Also, this ROM comes with built-in GApp support if you need Google services, and there's also a vanilla version if you prefer a clean setup. Alright, it's done. Now let's reboot the system as usual. And there we go, it has booted. Complete the setup process. As mentioned in the changelog, the UI and overall experience remain mostly the same as the previous version. It's very light and smooth, and even the quick panel looks familiar. Unlike some other custom ROMs, this one doesn't focus on heavy customization. It's mainly about performance and stability. And again, since this is running on an older Exynos device, expectations should be realistic. Now let's check the Android version. And as you can see, it's running Android 16 based on LineageOS 23 with the latest security patch. Even though it's a GSI, the performance feels smooth, with no major UI lag, and it's not heavy at all. Most features are working fine network, Wi-Fi, hotspot, Bluetooth. Everything seems to function normally, just like in the previous version. Sound is working as well. You also get Android 16 features like custom modes, wallpaper styles, and lock screen customization, including icons and font styles. In terms of storage, around 9 GB is used by the system, and the rest is available for user storage, which is still pretty decent. Battery life is also good, as LineageOS is known for efficient power usage. Let's quickly check the camera. And yeah, it's working fine. This is a custom camera app with several advanced features like sharpening, denoising, HDR capture, raw image support, and even zero shutter lag mode. Although I'm not sure how well all these features work on this device, since it depends on the Exynos ISP and Camera 2 API support. Video stabilization is available, and the front camera is also working properly. Also, since this ROM supports Project Treble, it separates the Android system from vendor-specific drivers. Because of that, you still get some Samsung-specific features like audio settings, including stereo mode, along with a few additional options I already showed in my previous video. And that's the advantage of Treble LineageOS can update the system faster without needing to rebuild everything for each device. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.